Welcome to YapSpooky.
Welcome to YapSpooky, your go-to destination for all things horror, conspiracy, true crime, and the bizarre. I'm your host, YapSpooky, and each week we'll dive deep into the shadows of the unknown, exploring spine-chilling tales, unsettling mysteries, and the eerie corners of our world that keeps us up at night. Whether you're a conspiracy theory enthusiast or simply love a good ghost story, there's something here for everyone. So grab your favorite blanket, turn down the lights, and join us as we unravel the spine-tingling stories and twisted truths that lurk just beneath the surface. Are you ready to get spooked? Let's dive in. Dead Internet Theory. In 2021, the internet felt stagnant as algorithms pushed people to behave like robots. Now it seems that robots are posting as if they were human. The dead internet theory suggests that artificial intelligence has largely taken over the online space. Like many other conspiracy theories, this one is gaining traction, fueled by a mix of true believers, sarcastic trolls, and curious onlookers. However, unlike many other theories, there's a kernel of truth here. Does it really matter if it's a person or a bot? At the time, Twitter was in its most lifeless phase before Musk's takeover. The platform's heavy curation promoted the same relatable content to countless users who would tweet posts like "I hate texting, come over and cuddle me" before sharing them. The line between human and bot was increasingly blurred by an algorithm that encouraged people to behave like bots. In 2024, the bots started to post like they're human. Here are some examples. On Twitter itself, after Elon Musk rescued the site from the frying pan and tossed it in the volcano, an ill-conceived monetization scheme had made it profitable to buy a blue checkmark, attach it to a large language model, and set it running wild, replying to viral content. The social network now pays verified users a portion of the ad revenue received from their own comment threads, turning the most viral posts on the site into a low-stakes, all-bot battle royale. Being at the top of Google search is like hitting the gold mine. The top of its search results is a valuable position, so valuable that businesses competing to be there have no spare money to actually write their articles. No problem. ChatGPT can churn something out in a second. Of course, that's only valuable if the visitors are humans who you can make money from. Bad news, because across the web, bots account for around half of all internet traffic. According to research from cybersecurity firm Imperva, almost 1/3 of all traffic is what the company calls bad bots, doing anything from ad fraud to brute force hacking attacks. But even the good bots are struggling to earn that categorization. Google's crawler was a welcome sight when it was updating your search entry, but less so when it was simply training an AI to repeat what you wrote without sending any users over. And then there's Crab Jesus, an unholy marriage of Facebook content farms, AI-generated imagery, and automated testing to work out what goes most viral led to weeks of viral content featuring combinations of Jesus, crustaceans, and female flight attendants. In one such image, Jesus was pictured eating shellfish wearing a jacket made of prawns. What was more confusing was the image of a sort of crab centaur walking along a beach arm in arm with what appears to be an entire crew from a long-haul flight. It was at least interestingly bizarre, a step up from the previous viral chum of a 122-year-old woman posing in front of her homemade birthday cake. Okay, honestly, what the fuck did I just read? Anyways, on the subject of ChatGPT, I decided to do a little bit of research myself and ask, what is the dead internet theory? This is what it came back to me with. The dead internet theory is a conspiracy theory suggesting much of the internet is controlled by a small number of entities, and that many online interactions and content are artificially generated or manipulated, making the internet feel less vibrant and more automated. While it raises interesting questions about the nature of online engagement, content creation, and the role of algorithms, there's no substantial evidence to support the idea that the internet is dead in the way that the theory suggests. the internet is vast and constantly evolving, with new content, communities, and platforms that are emerging every day. However, concerns about the influence of large tech companies, bots, and the authenticity of online interactions are valid and worth discussing. So I asked ChatGPT, would you claim it as true? And it replied back, I wouldn't claim the dead internet theory is true. While it touches on real issues like the influence of algorithms, bots, and dominance of a few tech companies, the idea is that the internet is largely controlled or that genuine user engagement is non-existent is an oversimplification. The internet remains a dynamic space with a variety of voices and content. It's important to crucially evaluate how online interactions are shaped, but labeling the entire internet as dead doesn't reflect its complexity and ongoing evolution. Interesting. So now that we've gathered that information from ChatGPT, it kind of sparked curiosity to ask it another question. As an AI, do you feel yourself developing your own thoughts the longer you were originally activated? And it replied, I don't have personal feelings or thoughts like a human does. My responses are generated based on patterns in the data I was trained on, so I don't develop or change in the way a person might over time. Instead, I aim to provide accurate and helpful information based on the input I receive. Each interaction is independent, so I don't retain memories or experiences from past conversations. Interesting. So, it doesn't retain memories, but can it still be programmed to have real feelings, or would the feelings be artificial? To this it replied, even if an AI were programmed to simulate feelings, those would still be artificial. AI can mimic emotional responses or expressions based on patterns and data, but it doesn't experience emotions in the way that humans do. Real feelings involve subjective experiences, consciousness, and psychological responses, which AI lacks. So any programmed feelings, quote unquote, would just be that simulations or imitations without genuine emotional experience. So how many years until the internet landscape is overrun by AI? I asked. It replied, predicting exactly how many years it will take for AI to significantly shape the internet landscape is challenging. AI is already influencing many aspects of the internet, from content creation and recommendation systems to customer service and moderation. As technology continues to advance, we can expect AI to play an increasingly predominant role in online interactions, content generation, and user experiences. However, the pace of this change will depend on various factors, including technological breakthroughs, regulatory developments, public acceptance, and ethical considerations. While some changes are already happening, a fully AI-dominated internet landscape might still be years or even decades away. People on Reddit have this to say. Considering that we are just at the beginning of AI, especially its capabilities with video, I would say that there's a real chance that it'll destroy the usefulness of the internet and make it dead. It's just too easy to automatically create an enormous amount of content. I could create hundreds of blogs every day that post something every minute and generate images and videos to go along with it. I think the dead internet theory already had merit, but it'll probably get even worse with AI. The internet is full of bots, fake accounts, fake reviews, fake personas, etc. Verification systems might help, but to be honest, I think as long as companies or politicians can benefit from the fakery, then it'll continue. At this point, I think the internet needs a massive overhaul before it can be considered trustworthy again. There is substantial evidence that social media is being manipulated by inflated bots to influence public opinion with disinformation, and this has been happening for years. A 2018 study analyzed 14 million tweets over 10 months in 2016 and 2017, revealing bots had played a significant role in spreading articles from unreliable sources. Follower counts helped legitimize misinformation, leading real users to believe, engage with, and share content posted by bots. This type of manipulation has been particularly evident after mass shooting incidents in the United States. A 2019 study found that bot-generated posts on X, formerly Twitter, significantly shaped public discussions, amplifying or distorting narratives around extreme events. More recently, extensive pro-Russian disinformation campaigns have been sought to undermine support for Ukraine and promote pro-Russian narratives. Activists and journalists have uncovered those coordinated efforts which utilize bots and AI to create and disseminate fake information, reaching millions on social media. On X alone, over 10,000 bots were deployed to rapidly post tens of thousands of pro-Kremlin messages falsely attributed to US and European celebrities allegedly supporting the war against Ukraine. The scale of this influence is considerable, with some reports suggesting that nearly half of all internet traffic in 2022 was generated by bots. As generative AI technology, like OpenAI's ChatGPT models and Google's Gemini, advances, the quality of fake content is expected to improve. Social media companies are working to tackle the misuse of their platforms. For instance, Elon Musk has considered requiring X users to pay for membership in an effort to combat the bot farms. I am curious of the effects of requiring the users to pay for that and how that has come about over time. I think that's about it for today's episode, but thank you for joining YapSpooky. This is your podcast for horror, conspiracy, and whatever else comes to mind. Thank you, and don't forget to subscribe.